Caitlin Foreman, features writer at IndieWire. I'm here with the team behind. I'm here with the team behind Sugarcane. We're getting all fixed. Tell me a little bit about this project. It's so interesting to explore this particular cross-section of cultures when you're talking about the Catholic Church, but then also in Native American history. Talk to me a little bit about your film.
Yeah, don't forget the rodeos, the powwows, the fishing at the river. Our film follows an investigation into abuse and missing children at the Indian residential school that my family was sent to near Williams Lake, British Columbia, Canada. But it's also a story about the people who endured against that history of cultural genocide, the Sugarcane community and the surrounding Secwepemc Nation.
For over a century, the U.S. and Canada ran a system of schools that forcibly assimilated Native children. Many of them were run by the Catholic Church, and those kids faced unimaginable abuse. And our film looks at the lives of survivors as they start to unearth the truth, excavating it not just below the ground, but in the recesses of their own memories.
Talk to me about your relationship to the independent filmmaking community and how you see that as being essential to exploring such a complex area.
Well, we started this film in the most independent way possible, which was with no money or team, and used our savings to get it off the ground for the first year, and then started meeting independent filmmakers, our producer Kellen Quinn, who came on board, and started building a community around the film of all independent filmmakers, and then went through the labs and the grants and all of these things, and through that process was able to learn more about this world and make a lot of friends and come to understand that you can make some of the most meaningful and artistically unencumbered work when you have the full independence. That said, it's very difficult. It's a very difficult industry, and so many of our fellow filmmakers haven't had the same, luck that we have had in getting distribution. So, as much as we're celebrating, we also want and encourage streamers to take on more independent films and documentaries.
We could have never made this film the way that we did if we hadn't been an independent documentary until after Sundance when we sold it to Nat Geo, and we're incredibly lucky that we ended up with them. And we also almost couldn't make it because we were an independent documentary. So it's right on that knife's edge, So it's amazing to be in a community of people who are taking those kinds of risks creatively and economically and, in so many other ways.
And if you could tell me, what do you think of the future of filmmaking? What do you think's next?
I think that, we're in a really difficult political moment where the world is more moving towards authoritarianism, and that artists in this moment have a responsibility to step up to the plate and guard truth and push against those forces. And so I believe in filmmakers and artists that they're going to take up that mantle, and I'm excited to see what's made in response to the sort of oppression and change of political winds that's happening.
I think that people want to be challenged and want to learn. I don't think that we all want to be pacified by our entertainment, and I think that there's always going to be a role for that kind of filmmaking and storytelling, and I'm very hopeful that, there are enough executives in this industry. We've met a lot of good people around us who also see things that way, and so I'm hopeful that there will be a future for films like this that are also made by humans, and that the human labor at the core of creative art will continue to be valued.
You've had so much success with this film, and documentary can be such a validating component of art. What do you hope is the future for this specific project? Where do you hope it is a year from now?
Yeah, this industry was built on a particular kind of story about Indigenous peoples, one where we were perceived as dying, and we hope that, this film survives. We hope that it's seen as a touch point in documentary and on this subject for many years to come. And we also hope that it's seen as a beginning point for, more stories like this, including and especially stories about and by Indigenous peoples.
We hope that Sugarcane, we brought it to places like the White House and to Canadian Parliament. It's reached the highest levels of government, and we hope it gets into as many schools as possible, because part of the mission of this school was nothing short of rewriting history and correcting the record.
Congratulations. Have a wonderful night.